Actually, that's a question 5. Somehow I was not able to get it. So 5a, 5b looks like a complicated expression. So let's really understand what's going on here. So let's put parentheses in the numerator. Let's put parentheses in the denominator. So the meaning of this is 1 over x minus 1 over y divided by 1 over x plus 1 over y. All right, so I'm going to show 2 ways of dealing with this. So this expression, right, we have 2 terms. So we need to find a common factor, common denominator to simplify. So we would multiply 1, which is y over y for the first one, multiply x over x for the second one. So now we have a common denominator, xy. So once we have common denominator, xy, we just perform this operation, which is a minus in terms of numerators. So the numerator now we have y minus x. Then divided by, we're going to do the same thing for the second one. We're going to multiply y over y, x over x, right? Because y over y is 1, x over x is 1. We can anytime we can multiply anything by 1. Still itself, doesn't change anything. Now we have common denominators of xy. Perform the operation, which is addition with the numerators, which is y plus x. Now, remember, when we divide by a fraction or rational expression, we change into multiplication, then we flip over the numerator and denominator. And so xy becomes a numerator, y plus x becomes a denominator. Now multiplication, which is multiply numerator with a numerator. With binomial, we put a parentheses around, and the denominator with the denominator. The parentheses around. So we have 2 factors. We have 3 factors in the numerator, 3 factors in the denominator. In the numerator, we have y minus x as a factor, we have x as a factor, y as a factor. In the denominator, we have 3 factors, x as a factor, y as a factor, y plus x as a factor. And these are the common factors of numerator and denominator. So which means we have xy divides itself, which becomes 1. So in the end, we're left with y minus x over y plus x. Since we only have 1 factor in the numerator, 1 factor in the denominator, we don't really need to put the parentheses around. But if you still want to put the parentheses around, that's fine. But this cannot be simplified further, okay? Don't make mistakes to simplify y over y becomes 1, x over x becomes 1. No, because this is a binomial. It's y minus x. It's not in factored form. It's not multiplication. So another way of dealing with this is this. So we see the numerator common denominator is xy. The denominator common denominator is also xy. We can multiply xy over xy. Because xy over xy is still 1, right? Then xy times 1 over x, let me put on the side. So what is 1 over x? Multiply xy. Remember, xy is a numerator, right? So we get xy times 1, which is xy. X times 1, which is just that. So we have x over x, that becomes 1. So we're left with y. So 1 over x times xy, that's just y. Similarly, 1 over y times xy, that's just x. So similarly, 1 over x times xy, that's just y. 1 over y times xy, that's just x. So the other way, we'll get 1 minus x over y plus x. Right, now let's see b. The meaning of b is this is a numerator or dividend divided by this divisor. Right. So one way we could do is we write out 2x over x squared minus 1 minus 4 over x plus 1 as a dividend divided by the divisor, which is 2 over x minus 1 plus 2 over x plus 1. Now, we can simplify the dividend. Right, x squared minus 1, remember what's x squared minus 1? Let me write here. Difference of two squares, right? It's just x plus 1 times x minus 1. So which means that's the common, so this is the least common denominator of those two terms. So we just have to multiply x minus 1 over itself for this one to have a common denominator, right? Now we have a common denominator of x plus 1 times x minus 1. Perform the operation in terms of numerator, so 2x minus 4 times x, 4x. 4 times -1, -4, minus -4 become plus 4. Divided by this one. Okay, the common denominator is also, least common denominator is also multiply those two factors. So we will multiply x plus 1, divide itself. Multiply x minus 1, divide itself. So divided by x minus 1 times x plus 1. Then the numerator will have 2x plus 2, right? 2 times x, 2 times 1. Then plus, because this is a plus, 2 times x, 2x, 2 times -1, -2. Now let's simplify it. 2x minus 4x, that's -2x, plus 4, over x plus 1 times x minus 1. Division, let's change to multiplication, then flip the numerator and denominator of the second one. So now x minus 1, x plus 1 becomes numerator. Now this 2x plus 2x, that's 4x, becomes in the new denominator. 2 minus 2 becomes 0. So now multiplication, which is multiply numerator with the numerator, denominator with the denominator. So we see x minus 1, x plus 1 in the numerator, the same thing, x plus 1, x minus 1 in the denominator. They cancel to be 1. Now we're left with -2x plus 4 divided by 4x. Now numerator, we see every term has 2 as a factor. Right? So we can write the numerator as 2, or maybe, yeah, just 2. 2 times 4 divided by 2, that's 2. Let's write the positive front. 2 minus x divided by 4x. Then 2 simplify 4 to be 2. So we got a 2 minus x divided by 2x. And cannot be simplified further because the numerator we have binomial 2 minus x. The denominator 2x cannot be simplified further. And that's it. Okay, that ends for lecture 11. Oh, actually, I want to show you another way of doing it similar to the first one. Yeah, let me erase everything. Okay, another way is to do this. Just do all at one time. We see the least common denominator is x plus 1 times x minus 1, right? Which is x squared minus 1. And we multiply this one. This one is the least common denominator, divides itself. Then we multiply by each term. So let's just do the first one. So 2x over x squared minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1 times x minus 1. That's numerator, right? You see this in the denominator, this in the numerator. They simplify to be 1. So we're left with 2x divided by 1, which is a 2x. So the first term just becomes 2x. Then 2x minus, right? Because this is a minus sign. Then we're 4 over x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 1 times x minus 1. We see the common factors of x plus 1, x plus 1. So we're left with the 4 times x minus 1. Left with the 4 times x minus 1. Right, that's in the numerator. In the denominator, we have 2 over x minus 1 times the common denominator x plus 1, x minus 1. Well, this is something over 1. We see these two canceled. So we're left with the 2 times x plus 1. Then that's addition. Adding 2 over x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. Same thing, these two canceled. So left with 2 times x minus 1. Then we simplify this. So 2x minus 4x minus 4 times minus 1 becomes positive 4. The denominator will have 2x plus 2 plus 2x minus 2. Right? 2x minus 4x is negative 2x plus 4. Then 2x plus 2x, that's 4x. 2 plus negative 2, that's 0. Then we factor out 2 from the numerator, we need x plus 2 divided by 2 times 2x. 2 divided by 2, 0. So usually like to write a positive up front, we write a negative x plus 2 and 2 minus x over 2x. Same result, right? So the principle behind this one and the first method is exactly the same. Right? So which method? Doesn't matter which one. That you want to learn to master it, okay? All right, I see you later.